When Jin, the eldest member of BTS, first began his journey as a solo artist, few expected the transformation that would follow. To many international critics and collaborators, he was simply the visual member. A handsome face with a polite smile, not necessarily someone who would go on to redefine vocal artistry and emotional storytelling. But in 2025, that perception has changed entirely. Jin is now celebrated worldwide as a creative force, a singer, songwriter, and performer who embodies elegance, discipline, and raw sincerity. The turning point came through his breathtaking performances of The Astronaut and Yours. These songs didn't just highlight his vocal range, they revealed a rare emotional depth. Critics from Rolling Stone described his voice as the sound of honesty, while the New York Times called his delivery cinematic and transcendent. What was once considered quiet confidence within BTS has evolved into magnetic artistry commanding respect across the global stage. Industry insiders have since admitted that they once underestimated him. One American producer confessed, "I didn't realize how sharp his musical instincts were. He hears things differently, like he sees music as color and emotion. He's not chasing trends, he's creating feelings." Even collaborators like Coldplay's Chris Martin have praised Jin's work ethic and artistic intuition. What began as a single collaboration grew into a lifelong friendship. Martin once described him as a pure soul and a true artist. Jin's Run Seekjin EP tour solidified his status as a global powerhouse. Ranked among the world's top 20 highest-grossing concert tours by Pollstar, it impressed critics for its emotional intimacy rather than spectacle. Billboard hailed it as a masterclass in authenticity, proving that sincerity can be as powerful as grand production. Fashion circles joined the chorus of admiration. At Milan Fashion Week, Vogue Italia dubbed him the embodiment of sophistication and sincerity, while American editors compared him to icons like David Bowie and Prince. His refined presence blurred the line between music, fashion, and identity, earning him the nickname a walking renaissance. The same critics who once dismissed him as just another idol now call him a genius. Jin's rise was not fueled by controversy or social media theatrics, but by consistency, empathy, and unwavering artistry. As Variety wrote, Jin didn't change to fit the industry changed to recognize him. His quiet revolution extended into Western media. Networks like E! News and Access Hollywood highlighted how Jin's steady, private approach to fame contrasts sharply with the chaos of Western celebrity culture. The Guardian described him as a modern form of stardom, one that thrives on sincerity rather than spectacle. Hollywood, too, has taken notice. Directors have expressed interest in casting him for international films and soundtracks. A senior executive at Universal Pictures told Deadline Hollywood, "Jin has the rare ability to hold the camera without saying a word. That's not acting, that's presence." Industry experts predict that if he ventures into film, he could achieve crossover success on par with global cinema legends. Despite the growing spotlight, Jin remains grounded. In a post-tour interview when asked about the praise, he humbly replied, "I'm just grateful that people feel something from what I do. That's the only reason I ever wanted to make music." Even within BTS, his evolution has inspired admiration. Jungkook shared, "Jin Hyung works harder than anyone I know. People see him laugh but don't realize the effort behind that smile." RM praised his ability to lead with heart, while V called him the perfect example of timeless confidence. In the West, major outlets now list Jin among the most influential cultural figures of the decade. Forbes US included him in its top 50 most impactful musicians of 2025, citing his dual success in entertainment and brand economics. Business Insider reported that his partnerships with luxury brands like Gucci, Maison Fred, and Lucie Doelle generated over $100 million in marketing exposure within a single year, a record for any K-pop soloist. Critics have dubbed this phenomenon the Jin effect, a blend of sophistication, humility, and emotional intelligence. As the Los Angeles Times wrote, "He doesn't need to prove he belongs, because he already does." Interestingly, several American musicians who once dismissed Jin as too polite are now reaching out for collaborations. Billboard insiders revealed that multiple U.S. artists have contacted Big Hit's global office to work with him, finally recognizing what fans always knew. Jin's artistry isn't loud, but it's unforgettable. Cultural commentators have also noted the wider significance of Jin's rise. Variety and The Atlantic observed that his success redefines global perceptions of masculinity and influence. He embodies strength through serenity, proving that true power lies in grace, not aggression. As of late 2025, Jin's name continues to dominate global headlines. From his stunning Milan Fashion Week appearance to his Polestar ranking and rumored collaborations, he stands among the most influential artists of his generation. Fans call him the standard of global stardom, while American journalists describe him as the man redefining fame itself. And what makes his story so extraordinary is how he achieved it, without scandal, without noise, and without losing himself. In a world obsessed with chaos, Jin's calm has become his revolution. From being underestimated to becoming a global icon, he is living proof that quiet power often speaks the loudest. The Washington Post captured this essence in a recent feature titled, "The Art of Stillness in a Noisy World." Jin reminds us that the loudest statement an artist can make is not through words or noise, but through grace, and the world is finally listening. Across the globe, his impact continues to ripple through entertainment, reshaping ideas of fame and authenticity. American journalists now call him the gold standard of modern stardom, placing him alongside legends like Beyoncé and Harry Styles. Yet Jin achieved this without controversy, only through consistency and sincerity. His performances transcend language. The New Yorker described his artistry as transcending translation, while Pitchfork wrote, "When Jin sings, it's not Korea reaching out to the world, it's humanity reaching back to itself." Back in Seoul, those who knew him from BTS's early days recall his relentless dedication. One former Big Hit staff member told Dispatch Korea, "He was never loud about his ambitions. Every day he worked like he was preparing for the biggest moment of his life, and now he's living it." In Europe, especially in France and Italy, Jin's recent appearances at Gucci's The Tiger premiere have elevated him to icon status. Le Figaro called him the face of new Asian elegance, while Vogue Italia praised his princely calm and luminous charisma. Within 24 hours, clips of his red carpet walk amassed over 15 million views on TikTok, outshining even Hollywood A-listers. American media outlets continue to highlight how Jin's humility enhances his artistry. Vanity Fair noted, "There's something profoundly disarming about Jin's confidence. It doesn't need validation. He shines without demanding the spotlight." At a Billboard roundtable, U.S. executives named Jin among the artists most likely to shape global culture long-term. One producer summarized, "He has the presence of a Hollywood star, the discipline of a classical musician, and the emotional intelligence of a poet." Another added, "He's proof that mystery can be magnetic." Fans have embraced this era as his golden chapter. On social media, hashtags like #JinGlobalIcon and #SeekJinEra trend constantly, celebrating his journey from just the visual to global icon. One viral post captured the sentiment perfectly. "He was never just a face. He was the foundation." Even Western talk shows reflect this admiration. On The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, the host said, "He's not just worldwide handsome anymore. He's worldwide powerful." The remark, though playful, captured a truth now recognized across Hollywood. Jin has redefined what it means to be a star in 2025. Economists even measured the Jin impact. The Korea Economic Daily estimated that his combined activities, from music to fashion endorsements, generated $250 million in global brand exposure, rivaling entire entertainment conglomerates. Yet when asked about being called the most influential K-pop soloist, Jin simply smiled and said, "I just hope I'm making ARMY proud." That humility, more than any statistic, defines his legacy as this golden year unfolds. One truth shines clear. Jin is not just part of history, he's shaping it. From Seoul to Milan, from global charts to fashion runways, his evolution marks a new era of artistry. In the words of the Los Angeles Times, Jin BTS isn't chasing the world. The world is finally catching up to him.